All right, we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome to the Greater St. Louis Business Aviation Association monthly webinar. I'm Tim Long, president of GSLBAA. Jeremy Cox, the vice president who typically hosts these events, is unable to be with us today. Two quick announcements. Jeremy's currently working on the November webinar, so stay tuned for topic and speaker, and the next GSLBAA Board of Directors meeting will be making a decision about whether or not we feel we can host the annual GSLBAA Christmas happy hour. So we hopefully will have an answer for you on that in a couple of weeks. Joining us today as our host and presenter is Mr. Steve Hadley, Senior Director of Regional Programs and the Southwest Central Regional Rep for Nbaa, who is going to give us a presentation regarding COVID today. Steve, it's all yours.
Thanks, Tim, and good afternoon, everyone. I hope things are well with you and you're getting prepared for Halloween. I've got my granddaughter here with me this afternoon, so if there are any screams, yells, bumps, or anything like that, I'll apologize in advance. So on to the state of the aviation industry. While we don't yet know what the COVID-19 picture will look like over the winter, and the impact that a vaccine might have, what we do know is that the impact on the aviation industry has been different for the airlines, who have seen at the bottom a 90% decline in passenger traffic, and according to the new Boeing market outlook, a $2 billion decline from last year's projection, with a total market value of $8.5 billion over the next 10 years. That 10-year value is compared to 1 year of last year's total year market value of $8.7 billion. So you can see it's quite drastic, the impact to the airlines. For business aviation, we've had to transition to finding ways to survive. Our members' operations began to drop the first weekend of March by 40 to 50%. Then things began to change. We did get a boost from the first COVID care package. Our community has not fully recovered, but we've had an uptick in business aviation operations. Currently, a slow but steady recovery, still down about 20 to 25%. It's much better in the charter segment. Many operators are seeing operations that are matching and in some cases exceeding last year's performance figures. This has come as a result of the traveling public domestically moving from the perceived health dangers of public commercial airline travel to private business aviation transportation, which provides the ability for better control by business managers to have their team protected from COVID exposure. As a result of this market movement, the employment opportunities are increasing in business aviation. With no new COVID care package or an airline bailout anywhere on the horizon, airlines are furloughing, firing crew, and support personnel. As well, many airline employees are taking early retirement. In some cases, the airlines have lost as much as 50% of their workforce. I had one airlines manager recently tell me that it would be fall of 2022 before they might see the beginnings of a recovery. Colleges are also rethinking their pipelines for graduates, moving from airline recruitment to searching for business aviation opportunities. That's important to note, and I want to encourage you to search out and take advantage of any opportunities your aviation business or flight department may have to engage with local colleges and high schools to advocate for the high-tech, high-reward business aviation industry. In the long term, as shown by the recent Honeywell Business Aviation Forecast, the 5-year purchase plans for new corporate jets has not substantially changed since last year. 80% of operators say that their purchase plans have not been affected by the pandemic. Another survey or study showed that 3/4 of pre-owned business aircraft sales transactions jumped 71%, with prices strengthened an average of 2.1% across the fleet, with mid-sized jets improving the most at 10.1%. Prices for large jets were down 4.3%, and the available inventory of higher quality jets for sale declined. Even flight schools are seeing a surge in people wanting to learn to fly, while health and safety concerns have spiked interest among first-time users of general aviation. That industry has made the industry resilient, even as it faces the continuing challenges of COVID-19. As for an Nbaa association update, our membership has been increasing with over 11,000 members. Of course, we've also, like many others, have transitioned to a virtual profile. Nbaa base will be virtual this year on December 2nd and 3rd, with registration free to Nbaa members. Non-Nbaa members that would join Nbaa will get a discounted membership and then free registration to V-Base. Otherwise, registration to V-Base would be $195 for non-Nbaa members. Nbaa has taken on new virtual tools to stay connected with and to educate our industry. The Nbaa News Hour series with industry panelists twice a week cover all aspects of business aviation. We have weekly podcasts. We have now an online Nbaa Daily Insider. The Nbaa Business Aviation Insider, our bi-monthly publication, is now digital and as such can be updated more frequently. Nbaa Go virtual conferences are utilized to produce IOC, the maintenance conference, safety and tax conferences, which have all currently been very successful, enabling more attendees to join virtually. Professional development programs and CAM are also online. We also have online the new resource outline for best practices for small flight department maintenance, and most recently, the Nbaa compensation survey, which is now available and includes the BDO impact survey to gauge flight department changes as a result of COVID-19, highlighting workforce reductions or not reductions, salary adjustments, and reopening of facility action plans. Business aviation technological advances are proceeding. Sustainable aviation fuel is gaining industry acceptance, with the major OEMs announcing during last month's SAF summit that sustainable aviation fuel was safe for use in all of their aircraft with no modifications and was the preferred fuel, not only because of its lower environmental impact, but because they felt it was a higher quality fuel with less sulfur content. Several major oil refiners are now warming up to producing SAF, which should enable a lower cost point. Supersonic flight is getting closer to reality with folks like Boom and Aviation prototypes in the works. UAS and UAM are also progressing with many prototypes already developed for both military and civilian usage. On the local and regional group front, local and regional groups like GSLBAA are adapting as well as stay relevant and stay funded. While a few of you have done golf tournaments, most are doing their fundraising virtually, which enables them to attract far more attendees and contributors with programs such as silent auctions, monthly safety series programs, scholarship fundraiser, with which most of the groups are utilizing. Virtual tools for engagement and networking have become widespread. Zoom, like we're doing today, Google Meet, Microsoft Meet, etc. Webinars with panelist discussions such as Big Marker are prevalent, and many groups are now utilizing Wild Apricot as a tool for group management. As always, we will still have industry issues. We don't yet know how the elections will impact us, but we will stay engaged to make sure you are aware of any legislative threats or opportunities, both locally and nationally. It'll be important that we stay close to listening to the intel in the background before bills are filed, because with the COVID challenges, I believe that we'll see Missouri state legislatures trying to pass things quickly. The challenge for all of us will be that the budgets will be extremely curtailed from supporting a lot of tax cuts or tax decreases. And we may see some movement toward increasing taxes or reducing tax exemptions. So we're staying on top of that. And of course, working with you all as well as the Missouri State Aviation Airports Conference. Understanding MMEL and MEL requirements, particularly in ADS-B, both domestically and internationally, has been a focus of our maintenance and operations team. So I would encourage you to go to our website and stay on top of that. Privacy concerns of flight following protections are challenging internationally right now. Domestically, the FAA has approved a program, and again, we can go to the Nbaa site and learn more about that. Doug Carr, the Internationals and Regulatory Senior Vice President, will be willing to talk to you if you want additional information on those programs. Nbaa Aircraft Charter Consumer Guide has been updated to better educate consumers. We're seeing a movement by the FAA to get their inspectors out, increasing efforts looking for illegal charters. As we know, that can be a good or a bad thing, depending on the understanding that the inspector has of charter operations. So if you get in a situation of where you are being impacted by an inspector that thinks you're not doing something quite right, but in reality you are, let us know and we'll see if we can help with that process. Our safety record is improving, possibly because of the reduction of operations. But what is not improving is insurance costs are dramatically driving up the cost of flying and hampering many people to purchase insurance. In summary, Nbaa uses what we call scenario planning to deal with operational challenges. We take a set of assumptions, then we build a set of strategies around that. Having a base strategy and then two more, one more optimistic, one less optimistic, provides us with three visions of the future that we can then use accordingly as things play out. It gives us the flexibility to react quickly with a plan to survive, then thrive. We've been affected like everyone else. We've had a 25% reduction in our staff, but we are surviving and we hope to thrive as quickly as we can. And I think the vaccine, once that comes out, will help us with that. In spite of it all, it's an exciting time for professionals to be in an industry of technology, innovation, creativity, and diversity. Business aviation still provides a passionate, exciting, and rewarding career both personally and financially. Please feel free to ask me any questions. I use the disclaimer that I'm not the smartest guy in the room, but I know the smart people that can answer if I can. So thank you so much, and you'll have a good Halloween, and I'll be glad to answer any questions I can. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. I did just send a message on the chat to all the attendees about using that chat feature at the bottom of the screen for any questions you might have. Give people a minute to see if there's any questions coming. Steve, thank you for doing the presentation. The impact on COVID worldwide has been just stunning, and it certainly can't end soon enough for any of us.
Absolutely. It's challenging both professionally and personally, as you all know.
Oh, yeah.
This is my favorite crowd. No questions.
It seems that way. It's it's a topic that's been covered quite a bit, but the business aviation aspect of it and how that's played out nationwide is good to hear. So we'll give this another minute or so, and if there's no questions, we'll go ahead and close it out.
Absolutely. Well, I have one question for you all, and that is, how did your golf tournament and your silent auction go?
Actually, as well as could be expected, all things considered, we had a smaller turnout, which was what we expected. The money raised was a little bit less, but overall it was very much a success, and we were fortunate with some really good weather. And we don't have the final numbers in yet, but it looks like we're going to be distributing approximately $14,000 total to the charities.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I was glad we were able to get it in. It's the marquee event for this organization. That was the 44th annual. So after 44 years, it would be awful to have to miss one.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
Trivia night was a different subject. That event's only this would have been the 8th annual. So if we get another one in, the next one next year, then we'll just get that going again. That's become a popular event.
Yeah. Oh, you bet. You'll set the standard for that event.
It's been fun. We have a question from Roger Molman. What is the NBAA plan to deal with the Green New Deal should it come to fruition?
Well, that's a good question, Roger. What we have in place is we've been working with legislators previously to promote business aviation and to gain their understanding of what we're already doing to support the environment through engine development. SAF is a big part of that plan. We'll have to see what the Green New Deal might entail, but you can count on us making certain that we have a seat at the table to prevent it from curtailing our operations and efficiencies. And that's regardless of which party wins the election.
Yeah, it's a great point. I'm certainly not going to put myself out there as an expert, but there's genuine environmental concerns, and you want to see the planet get healthier, but not to a point where it's going to destroy the ability to conduct business.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll just wait a little bit longer to see if there's any more questions, and then we'll go ahead and close it out. Another question from Roger. What update do you have on an avgas replacement?
I be honest with you, I don't have a lot on that. I know that there is a work being done on that. it's not as forward moving as the jet fuel replacement or SAF. My guess is because there's more of a market for quantity with the SAF. What I know is I've been sitting in on meetings with the refineries is that they are looking for billions of gallons of usage, and they'll come closer with jet fuel than they will avgas, considering that the airlines will also be part of that equation.
All right. Well, Steve, again, on behalf of GSLBAA and everyone in attendance today, thank you so much for the presentation. We really appreciate you taking the time to do this. And unless I see another question pop up here, we'll go ahead and close it out. Do you have any closing remarks, Steve?
No, just thank you all for your support during these trying times. I know it's frustrating for each of you, but certainly anything that Nbaa can do to help make your job and easier and working your business and flight departments more effectively, that's our role, and we are working full-time 24/7 to make sure we're doing that. So everyone take care, stay safe, God bless, and God bless America.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you to everyone in attendance, and we will see you next month. Bye-bye.
You bet. Bye-bye.